Sunday, June 1st, hot and sunny. Still hot. The sky was the most lurid yellow tonight, and the little new moon and the evening star gleamed out from the saffron sky so strangely. I don't know when we will have any rain. Some way, I don't feel the heat so much as I did last summer. I think one doesn't early in the summer. Mr. Brock, who looks after pulpit supply, was here today and preached in this church. He was simply fine. He complimented our church and ways, and I am sure was sincere in his remarks. I led the CE tonight. The young people's choir had some special music. Mr. Brock seemed much taken with the CE. He is going to try to get us a pastor for $10. I hope we'll get a fine live man who will do something with the splendid bunch of young people we have here. Monday, June 2nd, hot, plus sunny through a haze. Such queer weather, dry and hazy and very hot. Everyone says they never saw such hot weather in the 1st of June. Tonight, quite a while after sundown, the western and northern skies glowed with the most peculiar pink I ever saw. The new moon and evening star gleamed out so yellow from it. It was very beautiful, but almost weird. I called at Delaney's tonight to see the puppy, as I have been promising the children to do. I had a very pleasant call, and Richard took me back to school in the car. He says Henry intends to have a dance in his barn before the hay is put in. I am glad, and hope Richard will be there. He dances so beautifully.
Dorothy's description of the weird and lurid sky reflects a moment when shifting weather overlapped with a natural astronomical display. On this particular night in 1919, the evening star, Venus, was at its brightest point of the year. A new moon, just beginning its transition into a thin, waxing crescent, appeared to rest directly beside it, creating a striking pairing in the western sky. The ongoing heat wave added a layer of dry haze that acted as a natural filter, washing the horizon in unusual pinks and saffron yellows. The result was a scene both beautiful and uncanny, a sight that felt almost supernatural in its strangeness.
Tuesday, June 3rd, very hot and sunny. Hotter and hotter. The thermometer registered 96 today. It's cruelty to animals to teach school, but it must be done. Lily was up a while tonight. I intend to go to bed early and catch up my sleep. This hot weather, I have spent pretty long evenings out in the hammock. Wednesday, June 4th. Still warm, but partly cloudy. There have been thunder showers all around us today. I hope we will have some rain before long. Mama went over to Mrs. Gear's today. Dudley took her and Alice over in the car at dinner time. They were there until after supper. I was asked over to supper and would have gone, only it looked so much like a thunder shower. I thought best to stay at home with the puppy. Thursday, June 5th. Warm, but with showers. It seems delightful to have it cooler. I wouldn't be surprised if we had some thunder showers yet. I took supper at Woolies tonight. I had a fine time. I had a sick headache this afternoon, but felt well enough by 4 o'clock to go and have a good time. Friday, June 6th. Warm, a slight thunder shower. We had the most delightful and refreshing shower today. Papa came home tonight. Mama cleaned the kitchen, and tomorrow we can put down the linoleum, I suppose. I washed my hair tonight. Saturday, June 7th. Warm and sunny with slight showers. We put in an awfully big day's work. Lynn came tonight and I am awfully happy. She brought my music. Sunday, June 8th. Cooler with slight showers. I had charge of the service today. Lynn had CE tonight. The linoleum is all down now and looks fine. I am perfectly delighted with it. Monday, June 9th, warm and sunny. Lynn and I had a good old-fashioned sing tonight. The moon is lovely. I hate to go in. Tuesday, June 10th. Warm and sunny. Plans for the last day of school are developing beautifully. Lyndon and I have laid plans for a fox and hounds chase. I think the youngsters will love that. My examination papers are all made out. To get that done, I had to stay rather late tonight. But I got a ride down to the corner. We heard from Dawn tonight. Lowell has been sick with the heat. That is why she hasn't come before. She wants Lynn to come down and fetch her back home. Lynn thinks she will enjoy the trip. It is a perfect night out. Wednesday, June 11th, mild and sunny. The sun has been very hot, but there has been a delightful breeze. The children have done fine in exams so far. Plans for the wiener wiggle, marshmallow roast, fox chase, and so forth are developing fine. Lynn went to arcade tonight, en route for Baltimore, to meet Dawn. They expect to get home Monday. Thursday, June 12th, warm and sunny. There was a missionary supper tonight, but I didn't take it in. I got home late and was tired and dirty. Exams are at last over. The children did well. Tomorrow is the grand climax. I suppose I must go to bed and get my sleep in preparation. I hope it won't be too hot. Friday, June 13th, hot and sunny. Well, the great event has transpired and school has closed in the proper and approved style. The wiener roast, marshmallow toast, and fox chase were all duly carried out and with pretty good success. To be sure, the boys had to go clear to Strikersville for the wieners and arrived tired, hot, and dusty, but with ardor unabated. Also, the fox chase was pretty hard on new shoes and Sunday clothes and tired, hot little feet. But after all, I think everyone had a good time. Here's hoping my next year begins, continues, and ends as well as the one which has just closed. Now for vacation. Saturday, June 14th, hot and sunny, an awfully hot day. We had a card from Lynn saying Lowell is better but not well. Papa spent today at home. We expected Mr. Pressler with him, but he couldn't come. Sunday, June 15th, hot and sunny. I had charge of the services today. There weren't very many out. Guess most everyone who had cars took advantage of them. I took a good long nap in the heat of the day. At least 3 hours, I guess. Then when the nice cool evening comes, I am just waked up. Mama doesn't like that arrangement at all, as she likes to get to bed early. After CE tonight, I had a nice ride into arcade and back with Glenn's family. They were taking Earl back to school. It was a delightful ride. Monday, June 16th, hot and sunny. Lyndon and Dawn arrived today. Lowell is a dear good baby, but isn't very strong. It seems awfully good to have the girls here. Tuesday, June 17th, warm and sunny. We went up on the farm tonight. Lyndon went up early, and Dawn and I came to meet her. Wednesday, June 18th, hot and sunny. Thomas was here for dinner today. He tried geography. We entertained him all the afternoon. The girls just loved him. Aunt Eva called this evening, and Lowell welcomed her by screaming at the top of his voice. I went to Yorkshire to a party with Leon, Lucille, and Earl. We had a lovely time. Thursday, June 19th, hot and sunny. My feet ache so. I can hardly stand it. Dancing never had that effect on them before. I am tired and must go to bed and get rested for tomorrow evening. Friday, June 20th, warm and sunny with a slight shower. I did a few errands in arcade. I rode over with Sam. We stopped at Wayne's for dinner, coming home late in the afternoon. This evening, Lyndon, Dawn, and I went to the school entertainment. Lynn and I stayed for the dance and had a pretty good time. Saturday, June 21st, hot and sunny. Papa was home, and we had a good visit. Lynn and Dig went to the station with him. Sunday, June 22nd. Cool and clear. I read a Palm Sunday sermon today. This afternoon, Lily and Mrs. Haggerty called on purpose to see Lowell. Monday, June 23rd. Warmer and sunny. Mama washed. Lynn went strawberrying and I got a nice pailful. I ironed my organdy dress and balanced my register tonight. Tuesday, June 24th. Warm and sunny. I ironed today. Lyndon went to arcade to have her teeth examined. Wednesday, June 25th. Cool plus cloudy with showers. We expected Maya and Ruth today, but they failed to arrive. Lynn experienced much disappointment in not being able to use her signal code.
For young people in 1919, signal codes were the text messaging of their day. It was a way to communicate across properties or between farms and the town without walking or using a telephone, which many rural homes still shared on party lines. There were different methods of sending signal codes, such as heliographs, which use mirrors to reflect sunlight in flashes, and flag semaphore, where flags held in specific positions represented different letters of the alphabet. At night, light signals functioned similarly to the heliograph, but used lanterns to flash Morse code across the fields. Lynn may have been disappointed that she couldn't send a welcome signal, as their anticipated guests never arrived.
Thursday, June 26th. Cold and rainy and awfully nasty. Maya, Ruth, and Faye arrived at the Crescent. There was a missionary supper which we did not attend. Papa arrived from Java Lake, and we had a fine evening. Friday, June 27th. Cold and rainy. Papa returned to arcade. Maya, Lynn, and I went to the station with him. Saturday, June 28th. Clear but cool. We washed dishes and ate. Read a dog day. Sunday, June 29th. Warmer and sunny. I read my last sermon today. Dawn and Lyndon came to church. We had Kodak pictures taken this afternoon. Monday, June 30th. Warm and sunny. I washed my net dress. Had fine luck with it. Maya, Lynn, and I walked up to the farm tonight. Lynn and I went over to DC's to see about my last order. We were fortunate enough to have a ride over from the farm with a fellow who was shearing sheep for Aunt Clara. He was kind enough to bring us home too. Some class, as Raymond would say.
The first half of the 1900s was the golden age of linoleum. It was the standard choice for kitchens, hallways, and hospitals because it was easy to clean and naturally antimicrobial. Dorothy, who had an eye for beauty, was delighted when her father installed the fashionable new flooring in their home. After chores, the family gathered around with their guests to read A Dog Day, a 1902 satirical diary written from the perspective of a mischievous French bulldog named Chase.
8:15 a.m. Thinking. Decide to be a good dog today. I have a feeling that if I am a good dog, something will happen. I am right. Something good does happen. I get a piece of dry bread.
A net dress from 1919 typically featured a sheer, mesh-like overlay draped over a solid slip, often embellished with intricate beadwork or embroidery. This style was popular for evening wear because the lightweight fabric allowed for graceful movement and a delicate layered appearance. Join us as we turn the page to July 1919 in the next chapter of Dorothy's diary. If you would like to hear more of Dorothy's story as well as the stories of others, a simple like goes a long way. To ensure you don't miss the upcoming episodes, do subscribe and enable alerts. We'll see you next time as we share these cherished tablets of the heart.